So first I started off by applying my Smashbox PhotoFinish primer, and then I'm going on to foundation. Today I'm using my tried and true Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation in the shade Medium 54, and I'm just blending that out with my Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush. Then taking one of my all-time favorite drugstore concealers ever, the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 15, I'm just going to go ahead and put that underneath my eyes. And then you'll notice afterwards when I blend it out, I take whatever's left over on the brush and just put it down the center of my face. And then to set my face, I'm using my Rimmel Stay Matte in the shade Translucent. And then I go on to contouring and highlighting with my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette that I've been absolutely loving. I'm just going to take the banana shade and set my under eye concealer. And I'll also just take it down the center of my face to set what I put there as well. Next, I'm going to bronze my face with my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I just have a little sample size. Then taking Sombre with my F40 brush from Sigma from the Kat Von D palette, I'm just going to contour. First I'm applying the product and then I'll go ahead and blend it out afterwards. And I'm also taking it up my temples a little bit as well. And here I'm just taking the yellow shade underneath the contour just to clean it up and make sure it is nice and sharp. So for a blush, I'm taking the Tarte blush in the shade Expose, and I'm just applying that with a tapered fiber RC Cosmetics brush. So I pulled out an oldie but a goodie, and I'm using my Mary Loumanizer by the Balm highlighter, and I'm just putting that on the tops of my cheekbones and then working its way down. And then I put it on the kind of top of my brow and just kind of make like a C motion. Then I went ahead and did my brows off camera with the Anastasia Dip Brow and number 12 brush, and then I moved on to the eyes with the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, and I just primed my eyes with that, and I also made sure to prime the lower lash line. So for shadows, I am just taking the Makeup Geek shadow in the shade Creme Brulee, and I'm just putting that very lightly, like really lightly, because this is a colored look. I didn't want to use any neutrals, but you do need kind of a little slight bit of a neutral as a transition. So I just put that with an E40 brush, barely even any on there. And then I took the shade Unexpected as well and put that as a transition very lightly too, just so that there was a slight bit of transition. And this is like a nice light kind of purpley gray tone shade. I personally feel like it was kind of unnecessary for me to use it, so if you're going to be recreating this look, you could totally skip out on this shade and just go straight to Creme Brulee and straight to the next step. Next, I'm taking this gorgeous, beautiful matte purple shade called Wisteria, and I'm just putting that into the crease. I start off doing it very lightly, and then I slowly build up the color afterwards. Next, I'm taking the shade Duchess, I believe it's called, but I'll leave the name of it down below just to be sure. And I'm just taking a pencil brush and I'm just putting that right into the crease. I'm trying to just make a very precise, kind of soft crease type of thing. So I'm basically just applying that in both eyes. And then you'll notice afterwards that I take an E36 brush by Sigma, which is basically a more fluffy, blended, very precise brush that's going to help blend out that crease, but it's still going to keep the precision in it. So I just go ahead and do some packing on of the color and blending and so on and so forth, and just kind of repeating those steps. Next, I go ahead and take the foiled eyeshadow by Makeup Geek in the shade Caitlin Rose, and this was basically the shadow that inspired this entire look. It is such a beautiful shade. I do find it's not as pigmented and intense as the other shades, but if you really build it up, you can get this amazing, beautiful purple shade. And I basically wet the brush and just applied that all over the lid. It's honestly such a gorgeous, 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 beautiful shade. And I'm just using my Jessup, very kind of small, detailed lid brush to apply that. And here I'm just doing some extra precise blending in the crease with the E36 brush and making sure the inner corners and just the entire crease is all nice and blended out. Next, I'm taking the shade Wisteria again, and I'm just putting that on an E35 by Sigma and just putting a little bit more in kind of like that transition upper crease area just to add a little bit more purple color. And then I went ahead and put the Caitlin Rose foiled shadow on the lower lash line and just really smoked it out. I loved putting this on the lower lash line because it just made the look very intense and vibrant, as opposed to just using maybe a neutral or maybe a dark shade to smoke it out. I loved using like that bright, vibrant pop, and I find that it just like really pulls the look together. And then next, I went ahead and put a purple eyeliner by Rimmel in the waterline just to, again, really intensify everything. I did some winged liner, lashes, and mascara off camera. And then now onto the lips. I decided to go for a nude, but more of a light, kind of flesh tone pinky nude. So I lined my lips with Essence lip liner in the shade Nude Love, I believe. And then I used a MAC Flesh Pot lipstick, and that's pretty much it for the lips. I'll go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of the video, and I'll just say thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this really different pop of color look. If you did, please give me a like, thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah. Another review on another foundation for you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys already know by now, if you watch my channel, that I am a foundation